Hi everyone. So this is the third video lecture on wave optics. Wave optics. Or this is the third lecture. Okay. Look at the next problem on the same chapter here. This says that in a Young's double slit experiment, the slit separation is 1 millimeter. The slit separation in the sense d equal to 1 millimeter, and the screen is 1 meter away from the slit in the sense capital D equal to 1 meter for the monochromatic light of wavelength 500 nanometer in the sense lambda equal to 500 nanometer. The distance of the third minima from the central maxima is. Clearly we have studied that the distance of the nth dark fringe is equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda d divided by 2d. Okay, so that's the reason why x3 equal to, so 2 into 3 minus 1 into lambda d divided by 2d. That will give you the result as around like 5 lambda d divided by 2d. Now substitute the appropriate values here. It is what 5 into lambda is 500 into 10 to the power of minus 9 into the capital D is 1 meter divided by the distance is 2 into 1 millimeter, 1 milli, 10 to the power of minus 3. Because if you substitute the values and simplify, you will get the answer as 1.25 millimeter, 1.25 millimeter. So that is what option B is the right answer for this question. Okay, look at the next problem. The spectral line lambda is equal to 5000 angstrom in a light coming from the distant star is observed as 5200 angstrom. What will be the recession velocity of the star is the question here. Okay, in this case the concept behind this problem is Doppler's effect. Okay, you have studied that Doppler's effect, correct? Doppler's effect. So according to it, the change in wavelength divided by actual wavelength is equal to velocity divided by speed of light. So the change in wavelength is nothing but 5000 angstrom minus angstrom minus 5200 angstrom divided by the actual wavelength is 5000 angstrom, that is equal to V divided by C. C is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 here. Okay, so the required value is V equal to how much? This is what 200, 5000 minus 5200 is 200 angstrom into 3 into 10 to the power of 8 divided by 5000 angstrom. So that will lead you to get the answer as 1.15 into 10 to the power of 7 meter per second. So which one? Option B is the right answer for this question. Look, next problem given. The velocity of a moving galaxy is 300 kilometer per second. Okay, so 300 kilometer per second in the sense converted into meter per second. 300 kilometer per second is equal to 300 into how much it is? Kilometer. This is nothing but 5 divided by 18 meter per second. Suppose if you want to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second, at that time you need to make it as how much? 5 by, you have to multiply it by 5 by 18 meter per second. Okay, so this is the compulsory you need to do not forget it. Okay, so after that what can you do now? So the same thing, change in wavelength divided by actual wavelength equal to V divided by C. So the question is to find out the value of lambda. So it implies the lambda is equal to change in wavelength into speed of light divided by V. So that's the reason why now it is going to be how much? Change in wavelength is going to be how much? 0.5 nanometer, 0.5 nano, 10 to the power of minus 9 into speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second divided by the velocity is how much? The velocity is 300 into 10 to the power of 3. Okay, so let me do like this. It is kilometer per second. Sorry, do not misunderstand. It is not kilometer per hour. It is 300 kilometer per second, right? In the sense 300 kilometer per second, in the sense it is 300 into 10 to the power of 3 meter per second. So that's the reason why it is 300 into 10 to the power of 3 meter per second. Now simplify it and get the value of lambda as 5 into 10 to the power of minus 7 meter. Okay, 5 into 10 to the power of minus 7 meter, that is what 5000 angstrom. 5000 angstrom is the right answer for this question. Okay, look at the 20th problem here. A slit of width A is illuminated by the white light. For red light of lambda equal to 6500 angstrom, the first minima is obtained at theta equal to 30 degree. Then the value of A is, okay, as you know that for the first minima, okay, for first minima, okay, for first minima, what do we have? Sin theta is nearly equal to lambda divided by d. Okay, so therefore what can I do is d is equal to lambda divided by theta. Suppose if I simplify, the value for d is something like how much it is? 6500 into 10 to the power of minus 10, okay, nanometer, right? Whether it is nano or angstrom, 6500 angstrom divided by theta. Theta is 30 degree in the sense how much it is? 30 is something but pi by 4 radians, right? Pi by 4 radians, it is what? Pi by 4 radians, right? 30 degree. So it is not pi by 3, actually pi by not, it's not pi by 4, it must be pi by 6, right? It must be pi by 6, okay. So after that pi by 6, so suppose if you simplify this one, you will get it as 1.24 into 10 to the power of minus 4 centimeter, or else it is 1.24 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meter. So it is equal to 1.24 microns. 1.24 microns, okay. Look at the next problem. A single slit of width 0.20 millimeter is illuminated with a light of wavelength 500 nanometer. The observing screen is placed 80 centimeter from the slit. The width of the central bright fringe will be, correct. So width of the central bright fringe is nothing but fringe width itself. That is what? Beta equal to lambda 2 times lambda d divided by d. Okay, this is what in the case of diffraction method. Okay, this is the 2 times lambda d by d. Okay, so that is equal to 2 times. Do not get confused for width of the central bright fringe. Okay, width of the central bright fringe is something but width of the central maxima. That is what it is. Okay, so after that, what you can substitute the given values here. It is what? 2 into 500 nano 10 to the power of minus 9 into the capital D is how much? 80 centimeter, right? 80 centimeter. 80 into 10 to the power of minus 2 divided by small d is 0.2 into millimeter, 0.20 milli, 10 to the power of minus 3. Okay, so simplify this expression, given expression, and get the answer as 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter, or else it is 4 millimeter. Okay, so this is what option C is the right answer for this question. Okay, look at the next problem. For what distance is the ray optics good approximation when the aperture of 4 millimeter wide and the wavelength of 500 nanometer is used? Correct. The ray optics is a very good approximation, and the distance is given by the Fresnel's distance. Correct. That Fresnel's distance is nothing but a square divided by lambda. Here, please try to remember that a is nothing but aperture. Okay, it's nothing but aperture, and lambda is nothing but wavelength. Okay, so as you know that the value of the aperture is given as how much? 4 millimeter, right? 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter, and the given value for the wavelength lambda is nothing but 500 nanometer, 10 to the power of minus 9 meter. So the ray optics is a very good approximation for which the Fresnel's distance is satisfied. Okay, that is what df equal to a square divided by lambda. So therefore, calculate the df value. A square in the sense, this is what? 4 into 10 to the power of minus 3 the whole square divided by the lambda is given as how much? This is what? 500 into 10 to the power of minus 9, 10 to the power of minus 9. Suppose if you simplify this one, what will you get here? The 16 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by 500 into 10 to the power of minus 9 value. Suppose if you simplify this one, you will get it the answer as the 3.2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 divided by 10 to the power of minus 7. So this will lead you to get the answer as how much? 3.2 into 10 to the power of plus 1 meter, that is what? 32 meter. So 32 meter, in the sense it is option A is the right answer. At the option A we can find out the 32 meter, that is the right answer for this one. Okay, look at the next problem. A Polaroid is placed 45 degree to an incoming light of intensity I0. So now the intensity of the light passing through the Polaroid after the polarization will be. As you know that I is equal to I naught cos square theta, right? So I naught is the intensity of the incoming light, correct? It's the intensity of the incoming light. So that's the reason why the intensity of the polarized light must be I naught into cos square how much? 45 degree, right? In the sense, you know that cos of 45 degree is 1 by root 2. So I naught into 1 by root 2 the whole square, that is what? I naught divided by 2. So the intensity is going to be how much? I naught by 2. I naught by 2, option B is the right answer for this question. Okay, look at the one more problem. That is what? The Brewster's angle for the glass air interface tan theta, theta p is equal to 54.74 degree. Okay, if a ray of light going from air to glass strikes at an angle of incidence of 45 degree. Okay, so angle of incidence is going to be 45 degree, then the angle of refraction is, okay, suppose if you draw a ray diagram here, okay, this is what? Air glass interface and glass air interface. At that time, what actually happens is, this is what the angle of the incidence. If I apply the Snell's law here, sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is equal to mu here, right? This is the Snell's law actually. So to get the refractive index mu, we have to use the Brewster's law here, correct? According to the Brewster's law, mu is equal to tan theta p. Mu is equal to tan theta p. So mu is nothing but how much? Mu is equal to tan of how much? It is 54.75 degree. So it is clearly given, right? Tan of 54.75 degree, that is equal to root 2 is given. Suppose if I apply the Snell's law now, I am using Snell's law right now as the sine of angle of incidence, that is what? 45 degree divided by sine of angle of refraction, that is equal to mu. Mu is nothing but root 2 here. Okay, so therefore what will I get is sine r is equal to sine 45 is 1 by root 2 into 1 by root 2, that is equal to 1 by 2. Okay, so therefore r equal to sine inverse of 1 by 2, that is going to be how much? 30 degree, right? That is 30 degree. So that is what it implies, r equal to 30 degree. Option B is the right answer for this question, option B. Okay, so look at the one more problem on the polarization. An unpolarized light falls first on the polarizer. Okay, first falls on the polarizer, after that on the analyzer. Okay, if the intensity of the transmitted light from the analyzer is 1 by 8th of the incident unpolarized light. Okay, so what will be the angle between pass axis? This is the pass axis. Okay, pass axis of the polaroid P and A. Okay, please try to remember whenever there is a polarizer, this is the word analyzer, right? Sorry, this is the polarizer. So it is what? The polarizer, and here we do have analyzer. Okay, so please try to remember the unpolarized light will be vibrating in what? Two different directions, which has both electric field as well as magnetic field. Okay, so now what actually happens is, once we pass through the polarizer, okay, once we pass the first polarizer, what actually happens is only one field will be there, either electric field or magnetic field. So that's the reason why the intensity of the incoming light will be reduced by 2. Suppose if it is the incoming light is I, now the intensity passing through the polarizer is, it is I by 2 always. Okay, so therefore this I by 2 will be the intensity of light which is falling on the analyzer. Okay, please try to understand that. So if the intensity of the transmitted light from the analyzer is 1 by 8th, suppose assume that here it is I naught. I naught is the intensity of light transmitted by the analyzer, that must be equal to I naught equal to intensity of the incoming light is how much? I by 2 into cos square theta. Theta is the angle between the pass axis of the polarizer as well as analyzer here. Okay, so clearly they have given that the intensity of the light passing from the analyzer is how much? 1 by 8th of the incident unpolarized light. Now the intensity of the incident light is I now. So now this is 1 by 8 times I is equal to I by 2 into what? Cos square theta. So that's the reason why what we are left with here. Now I gone, we left with what? I1 divided by 4 equal to cos square theta, implies 1 by 2 equal to cos theta. So it implies theta equal to cos inverse of 1 by 2, in the sense that is what? 60 degree. That is what, 60 degree. So that's the reason why 60 degree is the right answer for this question. I hope that you have understood the concept behind that, and please use the same methodology to solve the problems on the polarization. Okay, so this is how you can solve this problem very easily. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video, and this completes the problem session on the wave optics, and the next chapter we will going to discuss is dual nature of radiation and matter. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video. Wish you all the best for your examination. Thank you.